For sure. I also am just a little concerned about the rotations that they do have coming out from OG going to the mid lane when Dragon Knight is in that form. Not exactly the heaviest hitters in terms of supports.
Yeah, I sort of agree, but in the same vein, like rotating Rubik and Undying over, you're going to drop a Tomb, you're going to DK, Soul Rip. Rubik's going to have some nukes. Like, they can kill him. It's not going to be super easy. But it all kind of also depends, like, how well does Topson pressure. If you can keep DK's HP around, like, 80% health, 75% health when that gank comes, it's a completely different story. So they have options. And Topson does do this, like, double Null Talisman into fast earn build, so his damage is going to be just a little bit higher. He usually just delays or skips a bottle, which is a bit interesting. But he just loves to pressure, and these items are going to be a little bit better for it.
All right, well, it looks like they're trying to move around here with the lanes, trying to not give the advantageous setup as KheZu is going top here. And we'll be facing off with the tri-lane that they have positioned. But teleports are coming out. They're already swapping up.
Okay, No-Tail heading to the bot lane. They obviously don't want to lane Nature's Prophet against a DP in a 1v1. With the tri-lane against Wraith King, it would decrease his farm, so instead they're going to sit Luna top against Death Prophet. So not necessarily exactly what OG wanted here, but maybe the Undying and the Prophet will be able to decrease Shad's farm, because OG does want to limit their advantage in the laning stage.
That is definitely you have to watch out for, and we've heard the panel talk about it before as well. Having the skeletons over with the Wraith King taking down towers early just gives you a really nice advantage. And they do seem like they've got a decent setup here for being able to push. Like we said, the Dragon Knight definitely wants to pressure the tower once he hits a 6, and then also you have those extra units coming out from the side of Viking. They do have their own D push though as well.
That's a good point, yeah. It will definitely help offset some of the pressure that Prophet applies on the map. But generally, Seb isn't as much of a split pusher. When he plays Prophet, it's more like he just plays with his team. He ganks correctly, he buys good utility items, so it should help, but it's not going to completely shut down Prophet like we do some games when Prophets rely a little bit too much on split pushing to be effective. Very curious to see what mid one builds this game, itemization wise. Like he's been buying weird items. I certainly expect to see something similar out of his Luna game. We probably won't see like standard right click, Mask of Manus, Manta, BKB stuff. I wouldn't be surprised to see something weird. Yeah, very curious to see what he gets.
What has he been building on like almost all of his cores? The Boots of Travel Midas.
Yes, Midas into Boots of Travel,
right.
Which in some ways is kind of a cool idea for Luna. Like she does farm quickly, but she does have issues at times. Both farming really fast and also participating well in team fights. And considering they have a lot of pretty solid disable on the Viking side, maybe some extra movement speed will help her to stabilize, and Midas will just help her to stick with her team, do tactical moves, and not also get behind in net worth.
It'll definitely be one of the first times that we'd see that picked up in a professional match, and I'm sure then everyone will be thanking him, as everyone in pubs will be trying to emulate it. Definitely do not try this at home, kids, sort of deal, when you've got mid one doing these builds.
Exactly. But again, mid one makes very good teamfight decisions. He dies less than a normal carry, and that is why it is okay for him to do this and get away with it. So if you cannot die less than mid one, then maybe you should consider not buying the item.
Otherwise, we're going to be reviewing your case on the Overwatch live Dota2 court here at DreamLeague.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a not guilty, but you know, I understand your teammates' frustration.
You're not part of the court, Purge.
They're doing a great job with the Undying against the Wraith King. This is one of the nice advantages of having Undying, is normally you lane him against like an off-lane strength here. Ooh, damage top.
Ooh, yeah, oh, the nice save though here from Aramis. Looks like mid one isn't going to be able to get the final hit off over here onto KheZu. To have to be a little bit careful. They've got the Spirit Siphon, Crypt Swarm coming out. Can they do enough damage? It's looking like they're going to try to man-fight it out, and KheZu goes down mid one. Getting the kill with 60-something hit points. Aramis now has to run away. Not quite enough damage here on Sox to go and get that kill, but we'll force him back.
A little too overeager there on KheZu's side. Thought he could get mid one, but with the Fairy Fire and the quick magic wand that built up a ton of stacks, very easy for him to fight to the death. Luna is a very good fight to the death type hero. Here it is again. Earthshaker pressuring correctly. KheZu walks in to get some damage in, but Fairy Fire, 7 stick, and all of a sudden, a lot of heal from him. And just the right click you get from your aura, plus the 150 damage nuke every 6 seconds is a lot more than most carries output. He's got decent armor too, 8 base plus the Wraith Fire or the Wraith Band. He's sitting good. More pressure top, because you're gonna take a lot of damage here. Should be fine though.
I feel like that's one of the big weaknesses with the Death Prophet in the offlane, is just the fact that they're so susceptible if you have that lockdown. She just doesn't have a great way to escape, and she's not super tanky.
Yeah, she is fast, and her strength raw strength is pretty high, but you have to definitely be careful. I think the other issue is that you just don't have any control over whether or not they run away from you now. Spirit Siphon doesn't slow people anymore, so other than being fast, you can't just like run people down over these long distances. So you do have to be pretty careful when you commit to kills like that.
Well, it's interesting to note now that we do have the 5-minute runes that came up, and still not a whole lot of action. Some pressure being placed on No Tail down there. A little bit of fighting over at the top rune spot, but they've already snapped it up. Aramis juking around the corner here. KheZu will throw out a couple hits.
OG doing a really good job just pressuring whenever they can, because they are going to win in these 2v2 scenarios, especially with level 2 Lunar Blessing. Both of these guys have 15 bonus damage, so every time they go in these two, they're just going to take a lot of damage. So I would say that this lane setup for Viking, this is one of the issues in it. Like, yes, Earthshaker can fissure them when they go on them, but they're still taking a lot of damage between the lift and the Lucent Beam and like 4 or 5 right clicks from each hero. So this lane setup is looking pretty good for OG, especially because they also have the Undying laning against Wraith King on the opposite side of the map and decreasing his damage and making it harder for him to lane.
Now, I like this movement coming out from Viking. We talked very much about how the supports are going to need to rotate when Boom's got the Dragon form up, but we're seeing the supports also rotate from the side of Viking to try to ensure that they can put damage on this tower. In fact, you're seeing the Centaur creep. He's tanking a lot of these hits. They've got the Cardi off to the side. Well, put some damage down.
So sick by Celery. Instantly enchants a new creep so he doesn't get the last hit. Once again, under tower is the perfect creep to have. It's going to split into more things to tank, and Boom just gets so much damage onto the tower here. Really well done with that Enchantress rotation.
Thompson's just going to clean up the wave, though, and still, you know, we talked about rotations, and the rotations coming up from Viking are just very nice. Kind of anticipating the fact that they were probably going to see some supports, and it made a little bit of space here. KheZu's Courier did die during that, though. Looks like they managed to get sniped.
Does not. Man, they're so happy with how much damage they did to the tower here. Earthshaker probably dead here, though.
Yeah, this is not looking good for him. He's going to go down. Mid one gets the kill. And KheZu is going to get hit with the Lucent Beam, but should be able to walk away.
That was just an insane amount of damage to the tower. The enchant rotation with the double creep while the catapult was there, just really well done with their first Dragon Knight ultimate. It's going to put pressure on the map, open things up a little bit, make it easier for Viking to go for ganks later. They don't have the best ganking heroes. That's one downside to this early tower kill, that they don't necessarily have the best heroes to make the pressure count in a really strong way. But either way, mid one's still having an excellent game on the top lane too. They're making KheZu's life hard. His net worth is not looking so good. Maybe we'll see another kill here too. Dragon Knight ulti used again mid, so No Tail rotates to try to deal with that a little bit. But they've got Eclipse on mid one, so KheZu's got to be careful here. Certainly killable.
You can see that he's hanging back quite a bit. Does have the Earthshaker hiding off in the tree line. In fact, there's the lift right back. The Eclipse, like we talked about. Fissure comes out, but it doesn't matter. Wrath of Nature comes out from Seb and cleans up on KheZu.
Yep, only one range creep left. They're able to get Rubik in position to toss forward at the same time, so Eclipse is going to hit KheZu almost entirely. And again, this dual lane for Viking is showing some weakness here. You guys aren't going to believe this, but Luna's going a completely standard item build. Mid one going for the Mask of Madness rush. I know, it's weird. It's
is
not
this
him.
really mid one playing?
Hard to say. Maybe it's a stand-in.
Could be. We've seen enough of those. Oh, they get the kill on Chad's Courier as Thompson with the Dream Coil looking to finish off over onto this Enchantress. One more hit should do the trick. Down goes Celery. So Thompson should be happy with that, and he gets a couple of earn charges to boot.
Took a little doing, but yeah, the 2 earn charges are going to be great. They end up denying the tower, so yeah, the tower pressure goes really solid. They lost mid tower 2 at some point here. I didn't see where that one died, but it's gone. So Viking not necessarily doing the best in their lanes, but getting the double tower kill at this point is really solid for them. They're not rotating top, though. He wants to get a kill here on the Luna.
Doesn't
have his ulti. I think he's going to get spotted by Saksa. He does.
Yeah. Not sure if everybody's quite in the right position just yet. KheZu using the Exorcism. Look at the teleports coming out now. No Tail joining top. Stun's going to come out over here onto the Rubik, and they have the Tombstone as well. There's a lot of ghostly daisies dancing around. Seb TPing in over onto the back lines. Aramis is going to have to TP out. It's KheZu and now Boom. They've attracted a lot of attention here. This is not looking super great for Boom, as he is going to have to try to teleport out. I don't think they have the stun, though, so he's going to be able to leave. The Exorcism has gotten used, though, over here on the side of Viking.
Yeah, not too bad at all for OG. I'm sure they would have loved to have one more kill there, but Tomb was obviously fantastic. Very little chance that they can fight through that, but Kezu's able to get away from the zombies long enough so that he doesn't get slowed. But Exorcism being burned is a big deal, because now OG's going to pressure this tower, and it looks like Seb's going to clean it up.
Yeah, he's got his little tree ants, and of course those are the baby ones. We are not at the big boy stage just yet, but that will become an issue later on, I have a feeling. He's taken up. Fissure's gonna get used. Snowtail gonna try to walk away. Celery is here though, has the impetus. They'll go to use the Dream Coil. The silence getting used over here onto the side. They'll be able to take down KZ as Aramis just stuck in the trees. He has no hope of escape. Down he goes. Mid one gets a double kill.
No tail might die to a creep. It's really close. Running for his life. Okay, he's gonna be okay. Oh, is he greedy? Is he gonna go for it? No, he's scared right now. He was like one hit away from dying to that ghost creep, but he ends up escaping with no boots. That was dangerous.
He's just gonna moonwalk out like a cool kid.
Yeah, took his time though. He's playing it safe. Very, very aggressive for Viking to go that hard on Undyne. They almost got him for sure, but great response by OG. I think Mask of Madness is on its way out, by the way. He doesn't have any points in his cleave yet. We'll see how that adjusts here, but he's also got the Possessed Mask, which is a perfect early Luna item because he does want to spend a lot of time hitting creeps here.
That feels so good to find that as a Luna. Do you have an item dropped over on the side? He just waits so that way the camp can respawn. Bottom lane, more pressure being placed here. Celery trying to run away, cannot outrun Thompson.
Presumably a pity.
Thompson knows what heroes he can kill, and it's basically Earthshaker with a little help or Enchantress, because Enchant isn't 6 yet. No untouchable, so she's just a really easy kill every time right now. Like they want to collapse on Kezu though. He's definitely one of the easiest heroes to kill right now. He's got a very efficient build for his net worth, just treads, wand, some other stat stuff, but he's got to be very careful with his movements right now. And because it's going to take some time for Viking to get ready to get ganks off, they do have Blink on Dragonite, so they have some options, but it's not easy for them to set up these kills. They kind of need to slow the game down and collect some items on probably Earthshaker. He needs the Blink, and maybe an item and a half on Wraith King.
Uh-oh. This is Dream Coil snapped in the bottom. They realize they don't even need Seb here as they find the kill on Boom.
Nicely done. Using the Centaur there with Sox's stealing Enchant, able to get the kill on Dragonite in a place that he looked semi-safe. Thompson getting some nice pressure on the map, getting kills that aren't just squishy heroes that have low net worth.
That Urn Rush was just very, very nice to deal with what the Dragon Knight has going on. My question, we've been seeing more and more of the Death Prophet in the off lane. Is it just gotten to the point where teams have figured out what to do to really slow it down and make it less of a threat? Because I feel like the last couple games I've watched with the Death Prophet in the off lane, they've had a horrible time with it.
It's not easy always just because of her lack of disable, but on paper she does look like a pretty decent hero. Like she's a hero that doesn't have much outplay potential right now. Like you don't slow people's Spirit Siphon, so you have to like ulti people to score really big kills. That's what makes it hard.
All right, well.
Seb maybe.
See Seb, the Blink 4, Dragon Tail comes out. They'll use the Exorcism, so slow him down. They've got the damage, so they do manage to find a kill on Seb, and they can put some pressure on the tower top. But as I say this, over in the mid lane, efficiency Dota here coming out from OG. As they realize that they can put some nice damage themselves. Dream Coil gets used over here onto KZ. They just have so much damage as they go, and they just burst him down as mid one finds yet another kill. No Tail trying to punch over here onto the Enchantress. Is a bit slow on it, but Thompson is much quicker here. So he does trail after Celery, and then decides, nah, we got the tower. We're good. And mid one's going for a little damage on tier 2.
Yep, he might as well. If he just does this by himself, it's not that big of a deal. He would have to worry about getting ganked, I suppose. But instead, he's going to do some jungling in this area. A little scary for sure, though. Got to be careful with this whole team running top looking for Boom. He might spot him with the orb.
Oh, they
do. They see him. He can't blink for 10 seconds. He does have a quelling, so he can get out a little bit, but they can do some checks here. No quelling for Undyne, unfortunately. And yeah, he's going to be able to get out.
They spot him, but they don't have the Dream Coil.
And mid one shifted to go push out the safe lane, so no threat to him in the meantime. But they're just playing basically really high-paced Dota this game. They generally do this when they have Prophet because they know that they can tempo the game so well. And they're slowed down by almost nothing here. Having Undyne, he's always ready to go basically with Tombstone. Thompson's rushing E-Blade so that he can get as much kill potential as possible right now. Now they're trying to get Boom, trying to finish off that kill they wanted.
Well, looks like they'll find their prey here. So they go up with the Orchid, the lift, the toss back. They have the Stolen Spirit Siphon, and it takes a little doing, but eventually Seb will slay the Dragon Knight.
Plenty
going
of
back
damage
in.
there.
Couple hits over here onto KZ. Thompson just playing around a little bit.
Gotta be careful. Wraith King stunning any of those people is gonna put them in a dangerous spot, but for now, just great space creation by OG while mid one continues to farm in the efficient build, the normal stuff here. It's gonna he's gonna go either S and Y or Manta. It looks like a Manta game a bit because of the silence and DK stun. You can dodge those out. Mid one might be in trouble though.
I think he's okay here. I think if he's on the other side of the fissure, it's a little bit scary. But look at Seb already making his rotation. He had the Orchid online. Celery and KZ are nearby, but they're very close to the tower. So looks like they'll back off a moment. Lots of teleports coming down. They look like they want to fight, Purge.
Yeah, good vision for Viking at the moment though, but we'll see if they can deal with that. No Tail is not here. It's gonna make fighting very difficult until he gets here with the Tombstone, but No Tail has not purchased boots yet. He tried to buy a second Windlace, making a bit of a mistake here. No, he's going to bring it out. All right, 2 Windlace Undying. Who needs
Here
boots?
we go.
He's got other perfect items for his circumstance, but damn, I don't know if he noticed.
I don't know. We'll
He's
see.
queued it up, I think.
We'll
He knows.
see.
All
He's
right. Figured it out.
Well, they're trying to make a smoke play here, and they are separated up a little bit. As it seems like they're a little misguided over on the side of Viking, not quite sure where they want to go.
Yeah.
Dancing
OG
around that
clearly-
mid lane.
They
Shad has
clearly
to be
don't want to fight
careful.
except for maybe a kill.
Yeah, well, Shad has been abandoned by the rest of his team, as it looks like they probably have enough damage to go and bring out that reincarnation. Yes, it is, but they'll follow up, going right back in again with the slow. They'll turn their attention now over onto No Tail. It's a good dream coil. They do have the exorcism coming out from KZ. No Tail is taking so much damage. He actually does go down. Boom next to fall, though, and that's a bit worrisome since he is the big tanky boy. Thompson dancing around over on the back lines. They'll find the kill on KZ, and they have their own exorcism, those little ghostly cubes floating around here. Thompson still hunting, hoping maybe he can grab someone else, but it's going to be pretty hard for him to catch them at this point.
Thompson did such a good job buying time in that fight. Like, it looked kind of dangerous after they initiated and killed the Wraith King, but he popped the Ghost Scepter at the perfect time. It bought him time through silence to not take damage and to not take physical damage. And by the time that was over, he was able to Dream Coil off onto 3 big heroes. And even without Luna showing up, they were able, with the fact that the Tombstone was there and Thompson bought time, to actually
Boom.
work him down slowly.
Boom! I don't think this is where you want to be, my friend. This is a lot of damage coming out from the Eclipse. He's immediately forced to back off, but there it is.
Oh, he
There's the
lives.
Fissure into the Echo Slam. Grabs 2 of them. Mid one. Is he going to survive this? He's got lifesteal, but no, he does eventually fall, though Celery also will get taken down, and Soxet next to fall to the side of Viking.
I thought Dragonite was dead for sure with that Eclipse, but once again, Quelling Blade to get out of the Sprout right away. He ends up staying alive with like 60, 70 HP on the Dragonite. Huge swing there. Obviously, the game's still looking rough for Viking, but hey, killing the enemy carry, you finally got it done. That's his mega kill streak as well, and it went to Kezu, so he'll catch up a little bit in net worth. Not that it's looking great.
Look at this. Immediately that Eclipse, the Orchid, trees. I almost thought the Celery might end up body blocking him just a little bit too much, but no, he makes it out. And then look at Aramis. That's the Blink Dagger reveal. A nice Echo Slam onto 2.
Really nicely done for sure. So some space is collected for them. That's going to buy the Wraith King a little bit more time to get his relic. It's about 50 gold away right now. So he's getting there. Radiance is certainly going to help against all of this stuff that OG has. The fights are a little bit elongated at times, so just need to buy time for him. But
All
Roche is going to make the tempo go up.
It is, and I believe it was Kyle who was on the panel. He said, you know, the first person to get Roche is going to win the game. And right now, OG, they're really, you know, putting the damage down, getting this Aegis here. They don't have to worry about Echo Slam. They don't have to worry about Exorcism. It's the perfect time. So mid one gets himself a nice Aegis at 18 minutes in.
Yep, and another cool thing about the Undying here is that not only does he stabilize your lanes and give you really solid gank and team fight in these early skirmishes, but his ulti amplifies the damage you deal by 25%, making him a pretty capable Roche hero, actually. Normally they would have struggled a little bit too much here. In the meantime, mid one is almost finished his BKB, so the next fights against Earthshaker are not going to be nearly as dangerous. Wow, he actually sends the Van Brace back. He wants to keep the Possessed Mask. A little surprising, but...
That lifesteal, though.
Surprising. I mean, it's only 7%. I can't tell. Okay, he's going to use Grove Bow. That makes more sense. Amplifies his magic damage, gives him attack range, more attack speed. That makes more sense over the Van Brace. But I think Van Brace is definitely better than Possessed Mask in this circumstance because he's already got some lifesteal.
Well, I'm not going to argue with mid one on this for sure. He likes to do things a little bit wacky sometimes, but it seems that they always seem to work out for him, so...
Yeah, not this game. Everything's very standard the way he's playing.
Except for that Grove bow.
No. I like the Grove bow. I said I meant Possess Mask over Vambrace.
Oh, okay, yeah.
In my opinion.
All right.
Grove bow makes sense.
Makes a little more sense, yes. All right, well, Seb pushing out the bottom lane here. Aramis just kind of hiding over in the tree line. Getting a little bit of that experience. But there's a lot of movement in that top area. Coming out for the side of OG. The Fissure comes out, though. They do spot him. Can they finish him off? Teleports immediately coming out now from OG as they want to try to punish this. But I don't think they're going to be quite quick enough.
All right, BKB's up on Luna, though. So no engagement, but they keep Prophet alive. They need to buy a little bit of time till he gets BKB before he can fully commit to these fights. So not too surprising. But with the map control they have with the Aegis, I'm sure OG's ready to fight very soon.
Especially with an Arcane Rune over here on Puck. I think Thompson would love to skirmish anytime that the rest of the team is ready.
He's picking up on Aether Lenses too, as well. Interesting. We've seen this a couple times. I think Boom was the guy that got an Aether Lens on Puck and ended up losing the game because he didn't have the Dispel from like a Yules or something, but clearly seems like a popular build. I mean, being able to Dream Coil from farther away is great. Being able to go farther with the Waning Rift gives you more options, and it's going to help make him get away with the fact that he doesn't have a Blink Dagger. But definitely interesting.
I like their movements, the way that they're sweeping through the area, trying to clear it out, and they're using mid one as the bait here. E-Blade gets used over on the side, though. Just a little warning shot here from Thompson.
Oh, damn, they stole Vampiric Spirit. Watch out.
Oh, man, all that lifesteal. How do you stop him now?
I think it's not even an aura anymore, I don't think, yeah. Looks like it just works on Rubik. Gotta kill
Well,
some creeps now,
Soxa.
spawn some skeletons. Yeah, watch out.
There we go. Pressure being placed over on the mid tower, and they really can't do anything against mid one here. Just slices through the tower, slices through the creeps, gets a little heal top off here from No Tail, and the pressure's on in the bottom area. Two-pronged attack. It's looking pretty good right now for OG. Smoke coming out, though, from the side of Viking. Can they get anything from this, though, is the question.
They've got Radiance on Wraith King. He wants to run into this, but running uphill into the Tri-Camp is really hard. And Dire scanning, spotting heroes there. They just know that approaching that way is going to be tough, so they're going to try to see if OG will leave
but the orb?
this Tri-Camp.
Could they potentially? No Thompson. All right, well, they have a party hitting their tower over here, and mid one's got an Aegis. Do manage to get a courier snipe.
Catapult. This is good. Good time to push. Treants are going to tank most of this split shot damage.
They have a ward here. They know. Celery so far forward here. Wrath of Nature plus the Dream Coil over on 2. Looks like they should be able to take down Celery first. Over on the back line, so they've split it up so nicely. Keizu, he tries to teleport out. He's not going to be able to. They have the Lucent Beam, and they're just chasing down Boom on the back lines here. Keizu eventually to fall.
That was so smart by OG. They knew that the most vulnerable place they get attacked from is the back. They hadn't seen anybody on the map for a while, except for the Wraith King. They anticipated this. They had the ward and the sentry, and Dyne was perfectly positioned. And then they Dream Coil 2, drop the tomb, and then their opponents are forced to fight. Luna might lose his Aegis here, though.
They need one more hit. Okay, there it is. There's the Aegis gets burned. She's gonna be right back up again, and she should be able to walk away unless Boom follows up there with the Dragon Tail, followed up with Wraithfire Blast. Echo Slam coming out over on the back lines. They do manage to take down mid one. Just a lot of damage, though, over onto the Earthshaker. He's trying to run away. He will eventually pop. BKB coming out now from Seb. No Tail tries to run away, tries to use the whip to his own advantage. Does get chased down by Celery.
All right, nicely done. They lose the initial team fight, but mid one playing way too aggressively in the high ground, gets stunned under tower. Aegis gets burned, and that gives them the opportunity to finally commit all of their big ultimates to kill him. So, decent misfire there by mid one. Rare mistake. He does finish his Sanj and Yasha. Queuing up a Butterfly. We're going to see the replay once again. Walks high ground, finds a random Wraith King here, and yeah, there is the evidence that Luna is a bit of a squishy here. He's got 18 armor there, but his raw HP was only like 1,500. That was partially because of his itemization. Before he finished the SNY, his only strength items were basically a wand and a Black King bar, so that is why he was so burstable in all of this engagement. So he'll be sitting a little tankier next fight, and the status resistance will be higher too.
Man, No Tail tried real hard to keep him alive that entire time, but still was having some difficulty with the amount of damage coming out. So Shard was the next item on Earthshaker's grocery list, as it should be. And we do have the Shard picked up now on Rubik, where he's able to lift his own teammates and move them about to safety and whatnot. How do you feel about that one?
This one. I think it's perfect in the circumstance, because something I was thinking about saying when the Luna was disabled was if they have a Glimmer Cape, Luna probably survives that second round of damage. And but Undying, he had to buy 2 Wind Laces. He was really poor as a result. So, they haven't been able to pick up a Wind Lace or a Glimmer Cape yet. Rubik has one queued up as well, but it's like he's not there yet. So now, yeah, maybe he could have spent that 1,400 gold they spent on a shard to just buy a Glimmer Cape instead. But this is also going to solve similar issues. The throw range 60% longer, cooldown's reduced by 30% when targeting allies, and the throw delay is 0.5 seconds. If he just gets gone on, Earthshaker Shard doesn't matter anymore. You toss him away from the fissure. There's no follow-up stun. It's the hard counter.
Well, he has to make sure that he's not the one who's also getting fissured, right?
Absolutely, but he's got an Aether Lens already, and he's got 250 cast range from Arcane Supremacy. Like, Telekinesis cast range has got to be like 800 or something at least right now. We won't be able to see the area until the game gets resumed, but it's going to be really far. He's just going to sit back. He's going to wait until Luna gets put in a really bad position, like Dragonite goes in, blink stuns. And that's when you throw him to safety. Well, and then later on, they'll follow that up with Glimmers.
Our observer's trying to show you the about the area that he can do that within. You don't trust them.
I mean, they can estimate as well, but unless I see, not the cast.
You need cold hard, facts there. You need to have the actual measurements, each pixel. Yes?
Yeah, something like that, yeah. It's not always accurate. The cast ranges get a little funky sometimes. But
that is true.
I think this one would work. Got a decent steal, too, with Wraithfire Blast, so he's looking to be pretty effective as Rubik. Great cast range. It will invade and reset the game. They still have a net worth advantage, of course. Seb finishes BKB there. I don't know if he has another item coming out or he just has no money. Appears that he just has no money.
Well, that's a feels bad, man. All right, Purge, moment of truth here. Tell me your estimations. Who's got the higher win probability right now?
Oh, looking? Oh, okay.
Oh, look. Yeah, you can't look.
It's got to be OG, surely.
Okay. But what's the percentage? I don't know. I'm not in charge of the observer, the camera, or anything like that. We're taking a nice stroll in the Radiant Jungle right now.
I mean, we just got them to guesstimate the cast range of Telekinesis. I'm sure they could also press one hotkey and check the win probability graph. I don't know.
Sassy Purge.
It's got to be at least, I think it's like 75 right now. If they hadn't made those mistakes with the Aegis, then quite a bit higher, because I don't know if they necessarily would have gotten a Rax there, but they certainly would have kept pressure on the map, and now they're more reset. But they still have a net worth advantage. They have a little bit more map control. Roche has got a ways till he responds, but I just feel a little bit more confident in their pressure right now, at least until like Wraith King gets a BKB and a Blink Dagger.
So how much then does it shift once they've managed to get those items acquired?
That's
because it is the Wraith King factor, right? We've been seeing him a lot throughout the this whole DPC, and it seems like, especially if you get that magical item, the Giant's Ring, things shift a lot more towards your favor towards the late game.
You're right that things could change heavily in the next 40 minutes, but I think what's crucial is that most of the Viking lineup is about blowing up the one guy. And the fact that OG has the one guy in the front hitting buildings, not that Prophet can't do it, not that Puck can't do it a little bit, but Luna is like the tower hitter. So they have all these great heroes for chain stunning and for bursting. So if OG gets a solution to that, it becomes much harder for Viking to play the game, basically. So having Telekinesis can target allies this game is actually pretty ingenious, because Glimmer alone would help, but if they have a Dust and they combo physical damage with all these stuns, they can still kill Luna. So the fact that he can just do this while Luna is stunned has basically turned Telekinesis into a disruption, basically, and could, like, absolutely, with perfect OG positioning, like, give them no chance to lose the game, assuming they don't get picked off too much in between, like, Roshan. So I think OG's in a great position, especially with that shard pickup, if it works as good as we are assuming it might.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of theory crafting here, obviously, but it would be pretty neat to see if, the telekinesis shard option is indeed, something that could be used in order to save your cores from the Earthshaker shard itself, because it feels like there's not a lot of solutions to that aside from like something like a BKB, or you're just very, very tanky. But my other question too is that, Keizu having a really rough time on this Death Prophet, what does he need to be able to do to become a little bit more relevant here?
Basically, he just has to be ready to get into close range of the enemy team at the same time that they are bursting, basically. But it's kind of hard, right? Because his allies are going to jump in, combo the Luna, for example, and ideally he would want to be there with damage with Exorcism on, with Spirit Siphon going. But then he's going to get caught up in like Puck Coil and things like that. So it's kind of hard for him. If he had like a BKB, I'd feel more confident. He does have the Ogre Club, so he's getting there. or Ograx, excuse me. That's the Dota 1 name.
Oh my god, unforgivable purge.
But once he gets BKB, it'll be a lot easier. He just waits till his allies find a good initiation, ideally a fissure on 2 to 3 heroes where the enchant totem follow-up, and he runs in at the same time with ulti on and BKB active, and then he can just do a whole bunch of damage and silence some important heroes. That's maybe the solution, right?
Yeah.
Watch out for the Rubik telekinesis, slap a silence on him for that 6 seconds, and now Rubik can't save his Luna particularly.
Yeah, but he's got to just, like you said, a lot of it comes down to the positioning. And it feels like any time that KheZu goes a little bit forward, he's immediately blown up.
Yes, and that's because he's behind. He's got great items for this context, though. Lots of magic resistance with the cloak, and the talent that does the same thing. He's got Essence Ring. He understands that like he's just trying to get as tanky as possible right now for as cheaply as possible. But it doesn't, you know, in a normal circumstance where his net worth isn't quite as low, he would be in a much better place.
That makes sense. So it does feel like Viking has to play a little bit of catch-up here, but unfortunately for us guys, we are having a connection issue, so we're actually going to toss it to a break. I know you guys are all very disappointed. We're very excited to be watching this game and casting it for you, but we are going to just take a short break here, and hopefully when we come back, we'll have more of the Viking versus OG game.
The sky will turn pink as waves bring us back to the shore. Here once again, sailing on the light of the dawn. Seasons they come and go much faster than before. I've realized I've always had the one that I'd been looking for. Home, we are home. Wherever your heart is, I'm home. Home, we are home. Whenever I'm with you, I'm home. You and I are trees. The wind blows and scatters our leaves. Another year has gone. The sun will restore all our dreams. Seasons they come and go much faster than before. I've realized I've always had the one that I've been searching.
All right, welcome back, everyone. We are ready to go with more Viking versus OG action after that short pause, and it looks like things are already shaping up as we've got a bit of an invasion going on into the Dire jungle there.
Yeah, OG basically just instantly smoked. They put a sentry on the cliff. They put a tombstone down mid to push it out, and they're basically just doing this to make sure that Viking can't pressure at the same time to take the tier 2. So everything's looking good. Something BSJ pointed out to me during the break was the shard on Rubik. If you steal Fissure, it also gives you the Earthshaker shard, basically. So it'd allow him to proc Aftershock with either Telekinesis or, ooh, they're going to catch Enchantress over here.
Yeah, Celery. It was a little bit of a hopeful move here. They still have the vision on her. I mean, they can't really hit her that hard, right, with the Untouchable, but they can burst her down. In fact, that's exactly what they're going to do with a little assistance from Thompson.
I don't know if that counts as bursting. That was like you slowly completed a task over the course of like 4 months and you feel really good about it.
You call that 4 months? I didn't think it was that long.
Considering it's a 5-position hero, yeah, that's the way to stay alive. Glimmer Cape with raw HP.
But they had the
find some
sentry.
time. He wanted to keep blocking the ancient camp, I think, is what he's been doing, because he doesn't want those stacks to happen while they have really good control of the map, because then it's going to just make sure that Luna has way more farm than their opponents.
Some big boy items picked up, though. Bloodthorn just completed now for Seb. And, of course, we do have the BKB on Shad now. He's making his way towards this Nature's Prophet. Silenced up here, turns with the BKB, with the Bloodthorn, does a decent chunk of damage here over to Shad. Not sure if he was quite expecting that just yet. And you can see the other members of OG making their way down to help out their Seb.
It's totally fine. I mean, they forced the BKB out. That's absolutely what they want. It's really an early Bloodthorn, though. But in some ways, like, it's going to help them close the game out faster, potentially, because if they do catch a hero out of position, namely Death Prophet or Wraith King or Dragonite, they're just going to do infinitely more damage, especially because, think of the combo. This is a cool combo. Lunar Blessing gives everybody 35 more bonus damage on your team, so everybody's already hitting harder. And then with Bloodthorn, everybody's getting guaranteed crits for 30% more damage on top of that. So that's a big damage amplification when you combo the Luna Aura with the Bloodthorn. So probably the reason they rushed it.
There's the initiation. They immediately spot out No Tail, so they'll be able to remove him from this next fight if they're going to go in for one. Roche is up. This will, of course, be the second Roche here.
Yeah, good pick here. No buyback for Undyne, so if they can slow this down, it's going to be hard, though. Celery's already got wards in position. They scan it. They see it's up, but yeah, it doesn't look like... it's going to be really hard.
I mean, it's so scary, right? Especially Dragonite? All right, Boom making some moves over here. They're going to just try to blow up Saksa if they can. Needs a little bit more, but they will find it. Mid one here, trying to just put some more damage down. BKB does get popped on Boom as Keizu. They managed to go and finish off the Roche. So Boom will get himself an Aegis.
All things considered, not terrible for OG. They do lose Rubik, of course. He gets stunned for actually 4 months. But the big thing is they pop BKBs and big cooldowns on the enemy team. There's still Echo Slam, but this would be a great time for OG to go take a fight once Rubik is up.
Ooh, a double damage rune over here spotted by No Tail. He's going to snap that up.
So many good neutral items for right-clicking.
Cloak of Flames getting picked up too. Always a great item.
Yeah. Well, Undyne with a Orb of Destruction. You don't see that often, but he's going to be slowing people when he hits them anyway, so just another way to amplify damage here.
Might as well. Octarine core completed now for the puck.
Cool. Yeah, really low cooldowns on his spells. 4.5 second phase shift. He's just going to go be aggressive consistently here. Got to regain map control. Level 20's picked up for Wraith King. He's also got an Elven Tunic, so this is a really nice advantage because 421 movement speed without even turning his phase on, 500 movement speed with phase on, it's going to help make up for the fact that he does not have a Blink Dagger.
I think it's coming out, though, isn't
very
it?
strong. Okay, he also has a Blink Dagger. My point is move.
It's all right, Perch. He's just going to be very speedy. You got to go fast.
It is important that you can initiate instantly, right? If you walk in and Puck's able to Dream Coil you, then your damage isn't there to follow up on the chain stun that your allies are doing. So definitely important that he has Blink Dagger to follow up and to try to burst down these important heroes in the crucial moments.
Definitely is nice to be able to follow up, especially once your Earthshaker jumps in, once your Dragon Knight has jumped in. You got to be fast on your feet here, so Shad will have that for the next engagement. And I feel like a lot of the times they're trying to, I won't say hunt Seb, but they're trying to take him out of the equation because he's just doing things like this, right? Purge is constantly, you know, popping up in the lane, putting more pressure down. It's a very annoying hero.
He hasn't even abused his shard yet, just using regular treants and some right clicks, but you know he's more mobile than his opponents are. They've got Blink Daggers and they are taking tier 2 towers, but he's getting some free damage in.
Yeah, they need to get here soon if they want to try to save this tower. Shad is here, but so is pretty much everyone on the side of OG.
Butterfly's finished for Luna too. Dissembles the Mask of Madness like normal, gets the butterfly. Shad is queuing up. He queued up MKB before, actually. Now he's queuing up Abyssal Blade. And again, this is the same Wraith King problem we see against Evasion heroes right now. MKB just does not do good damage like it used to. And as a result, it feels bad to buy it. But Asher will give him options. Luna is certainly going to be hard to kill, but her raw HP is still kind of weak. Only about 2,000. So if they can take fights where she uses BKB, then they go on her afterwards, they definitely can deal with her.
What are your thoughts on this queuing of a Rapier right now?
for Luna. I think it makes sense. This is like another one of those like death ball strategy things. Like if they can just win a fight, they're gonna end the whole game basically. But mid one's got to be careful here.
Mid one has to be very careful because the fissure, the blink forwards from both of them, plus the echo slam. They just obliterate mid one, and now they're gonna chase after No Tail here. They even use the exorcism. Dream Coil does get snapped though on the side. They just need to go and catch him. They need to stun him as well, and he's hiding behind this tree, so he is gonna make it out alive.
Well done. Reaper's looking less good right now. I don't know what it is, but that looked a little bit rough, the amount of damage that was. But yeah, very versatile. The one hero that could have saved him would have been Rubik, within range to do the allied telekinesis. Even then, probably unlikely, because that was a lot of hate hitting one here at the same time. You couldn't even tell he had Butterfly.
Yeah,
the replay. Sitting low ground, kind of dangerous anyways, but range fissure, stun follow-ups, they threw everything on.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got the burst.
I mean, to be fair, you know, that rapier, if she was picking that up at that point, she would not be playing that forward, right? That's not...
Probably not, yeah.
I don't believe mid one would be playing that fast and loose here, but a bit of a shock, probably.
Yep. Either way, I mean, they don't necessarily want to fight them anyways. Kind of a dangerous moment. Do they still have the Aegis? I don't even remember. Yeah, they do still have Aegis on Dragon Knight, so they're not even going to be looking to fight right now. But yeah, mid one just getting a little bit too aggressive on where he farms on the map. And the net worth is getting pretty evened out. The one hero that was lacking before was Death Prophet, but he's looking really good right now. He's got BKB at 10 seconds, and he's got a plate mill. So Death Prophet is basically at survivable moment, the survivable moment she wanted, so that she can run in and do a bunch of damage. Looking solid. Maybe it's time to Prophet Rad at this point, buy the shard, that kind of thing.
Well, that was the thing that, you know, before we split to a little bit of a break here, you know, I asked, what do they need to have online? You know, what do they need for the side of Viking to kind of gain some more ground? And you had said, you know, the BKB is going to be very important over on the Death Prophet, getting some more items over on Wraith King, obviously, and of course the shard. So now that they have that, they're making more and more headway here, but is it quite enough just yet?
It's looking pretty solid, honestly. Like, Dragon Knight's following off. Actually, his net worth is still decently high. He's picked up AC as well. That means Wraith King does not have to buy it, so he can be a little bit quicker into his next item. And I don't think that's a big deal at all, because the carry on the enemy team is a Luna. That's more of like an AoE type carry with hybrid magic and physical. So, like, I don't think it doesn't matter for Wraith King that he doesn't have as much raw armor as normal. So they're actually covering themselves really well with the itemizations that they've got. In a way that's going to allow Wraith King to be, his net worth is going to feel higher impact than normal because of this, because you can have Abyssal and Armlet and Radiance and BKB and Blink. It's going to look pretty good.
Oh, the fissure, but immediately the follow-up here from Thompson. Throws down the Dream Coil, and that Wrath of Nature does so much damage. He steals the fissure as well, so the Wraith King will go down for the first time. Rest of the team standing nearby. BKB comes out from Shad. They've got no way to cancel out this TP now, so out he goes, and the rest of the team just fling. Nice long fissure, though, from Sox to Keizu. He's going to be forced to pop his own BKB and have to go home.
And again, with this fissure and the shard on Rubik, anytime he fissures somebody, he can use Fade Bolt and Telekinesis follow-ups to proc Aftershock. So this is a great moment here for OG with these kills. So many BKBs are popped, and now it's going to be scary for them to take a fight.
Letting Rubik have this fissure is a pretty big oof. Yeah, look at that range. Oh my gosh. That's very long. Jump forward here from Boom, but immediately getting silenced out over on the side, trying to make moves on mid one. BKB gets popped, plus the Glimmer Cape. But Boom can't do anything. He's literally just standing there in the trees. This will make their approach over here onto mid one. They use the Echo Slam. Down he goes. The chase is on. The Exorcism does get used by Keizu. They need to go and stun up these TPs, and they just don't have it. So they're able to just walk away here on the side of OG. Or in the terms of Puck, you know, he can just jaunt away. Aram is chasing after him, but isn't going to be able to catch him.
I was going to describe the Orbs of Steel that mid one had in the mid lane by not popping BKB while at 1k HP, but eventually he does get punished for it really heavily there. Probably expected his team to be able to save him, but once again, Luna just looking like she's a great tower pusher, but she's very vulnerable to this mass burst damage with stuns. And she dies again in a moment where she didn't get to pop her BKB, she didn't get to ulti, and the tower got denied. So OG's still kind of struggling to gain some ground here.
Have we seen any successful core Lunas win yet in this DPC? At least in our regions.
I have not seen any. I'm pretty sure she was like, last time I heard the panel talk about it, she was something like 0-4.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a massive amount of games, but, and this is probably the best one so far. They won the lane, they got some little skirmish kills, but since then, it's felt a little dangerous because their opponents have so many stuns and so many bursts, so much burst that it's difficult to pop BKB at the right moment. And he's queuing up an Ags next, knowing that like being to this like death ball, I'm ahead of you in net worth Luna thing, it's not going to happen anymore, especially with Wraith King like 4K ahead of you in net worth. Like, he needs to be able to like contribute to fights by ulting, and hopefully like it'll be like they bait out BKBs, Dream Coil goes down, and he just drops the ulting and like lasers everybody from the sky. That's the best way that he can really contribute before they convincingly want to fight.
All right, well, the smoke is up over on the side of Viking, and they're hunting. They do have Roche up. They've got their little creep over in there, hugging that tree. Boom, walking towards pit. They find the Luna. Can they blow her up fast enough? Oh, good save here with telekinesis left, just throwing her away to safety. Fissure gets tossed out, Glimmer Cape, but they have the sentry. 4-step forward. Let's rip it down. Another Fissure getting tossed out here from the Earthshaker.
Restills it.
Still, they go right in. They blow up. Nota is going to buy back, but on the back end here, they'll be able to go get the kill on Aramis. No buyback on this Earthshaker. He did not manage to get the Echo Slam off either.
And with Rubik re-stealing Fissure, he's got another, what, 2 minutes? No, it's like 4 minutes or something. A lot of time to use this Fissure combo.
It's such a long range, too, as mid one putting out the damage here. There's going to be the lift, followed up here with Thompson, the silence. They'll blow him up the first time. They need to kill him again, and it's going to be very difficult. Bichat just runs at them, has the Abyssal, jumps over here onto the puck. Can they finish him off? It's taking some time, but eventually Thompson does go down. But we've got a Nature's Prophet problem here.
Nice.
Forced to go home, defend his racks.
Finally did the scummy Prophet thing, and that's by the shard, and it paid off big time. Gets a tier 3 tower and the melee bricks. I cannot believe that mid one has not processed his BKB more than once this game. I thought for sure he was going to do it there. He just has these diamond hands, dude. He does not let go at all. And it's going to pay off because again they have so many stuns. Keeping his BKB charges high is a nice advantage. We'll see if Viking can pressure Roche with 2 dead heroes, especially the dieback on Undying. They've got some time here. Luna's 1 in 5 right now. Secret Matamba Man was the one win.
That makes sense. Secret makes miracles happen with heroes, that's for sure. Look at Boom. Oh my god, he has to pop the BKB. Sub's just doing way too much damage, but you do have the rest of Viking. They're in the pit. They have an Earthshaker, of course, who can jump in with the Echo Slam. He's got to make his way over there first. There's Shad. He's taking so much damage here over on the side, but he'll turn right back around again. He's going to try to man fight. Can they get the kill on Seb? Yes, they can. Down goes the Nature's Prophet. Now mid one taking a little ride here up in the air. Does have the Eclipse Shad, though, jumping on the back end. He wants to get rid of that Rubik, and he will be able to. He's had enough of him as they'll just turn back around in mid one. He popped that BKB, but he's going to have to run away from this pit. Shad's back up, gets right back into the pit, and this is going to be a Roche, I think, going the way of Viking.
Perhaps the greatest Shad the Chad moment, honestly. Like jumping out of the pit and basically killing Nature's Prophet from full to 0. I mean, he got him down to like 30% before he even stopped getting stunned, and as a result, Prophet, who's like, I'm just going to finish him off, then maybe BKB, he got that extra bash in, and all of a sudden it was just too late, and he ends up dying. Like, Luna had to finally commit to the BKB, use the Eclipse, and they still lost the fight. What a big one. Did they get it? I didn't check Roche. Was that Refresher?
That was Refresher,
yeah, that was Refresher. Yes. Refresher for Death Prophet.
Death Prophet has it. She's got cheese on her as well, so Keizu's got to be pretty happy about that. She's also completed the Lotus Orb. So things are turning around for the Death Prophet. Definitely a very rough laning stage early on where she didn't feel very effective, but it's definitely coming into her own here.
Ooh, they do get the Illusionist Cape on Luna. This is probably one of the best heroes to get it on. Like, it's up there with, like, PL Terrorblight type stuff because this Illusion is doing 50% of your damage and it cleaves. Like, you can actually push out. So it's like free Manta. It's insanely good on Luna.
Look at these TPs.
And it's permanently up.
Okay. Chad,
someone died. It's not important. It's not a big deal.
How dare you say that the flower is not important?
I mean, Undying very killable here. He opted for BOTs, interestingly, to help deal with the Prophet issue, but he's also still stupidly fast with Elven Tunic on top of this. 491 movement speed at all times.
He's got a double damager too. Look at how hard Shad hits here.
It's incredible. All right.
All right, well, Viking making the plays. It seems like it was just a couple minutes ago they had a 5K lead over the side to OG. It's already shifted to 3K lead towards Viking now.
Yeah, this is the tough thing about these like slow kind of push lineups. You can't make too many mistakes when you go for your high ground moments. And because OG slopped it up a little bit, things have gotten harder.
Purge, they just stole the Luna illusion there.
Oh no. The hard counter, Enchantress, she's useful.
Well, they also managed to steal some of the big trees as well earlier on, too. But, okay, Shad the Chat is just harvesting everyone's bones. Soxa's now very dead.
I like how Mid1's just sitting up here and spawning his illusion escape.
Oh, he's getting
so he can go like push out lanes consistently. It's not that big of a deal if he's not hitting creeps right now, and he is kind of vulnerable to be spotted on the map, but...
The way that... Yeah. The way that Shad is just playing this game, he's having his own time of his life here. Goes, he finds the kill on Soxa, Luna's courier comes by with the point booster, just murders that. He's just literally like a one-man wrecking ball right now. The way that anything shows up on the map, you know, Shad smash.
He's doing a great job. And buying all luxury items upgrades his BOTs to BOTs 2. It gives him an extra 20 movement speed in case it wasn't fast enough. And with the Trickster Cloak on top of this, better magic resistance so he doesn't have to BKB as much, and evasion built in to make him even stronger against Luna. And he can also go invisible in anticipation of getting kills. Just a perfect neutral item here. Because he's got so many damage items already, he doesn't lose much by utilizing this.
Yeah, I like the way that they're using some of these items here on the side of Viking. I also have the, hold that thought, Dream Coil gets used over here. This is looking like Death Prophet's having a bit of difficulty. Has the Lotus Orb, but she's gonna need some health here. She turns right back around. I believe she ate the cheese during that. They'll take down the Tombstone. Shad looking for an opening, finds himself a no tail. He's a big chonky boy, but is nothing for the dynamic duo Boom and Shad. And now they'll just turn their attention over here to the tower as they wait for the creep wave to appear.
This phase of the game, the OG heroes are not nearly as effective. They lost a lot of advantage from things slowing down. They are split pushing well with Prophet still, but...
Those trees. Damage.
Bonkers. They really got to slow this down. Almost lifted, but he did not want to get stunned himself, so held back.
Oh, Seb. Oh, okay, they go for it with the Dream Coil. And again, the BKBs come out as they're going to try to man fight here, trying to put down the burst damage, but they can't as they turn back around over onto Seb. This is not looking good for him. He is going to go down as Shad is just rolling after them here with that Lotus Orb. KZ chasing down over here on the Luna. Does manage to get the catch. Silence, the follow-up with the E-Blade, turn right back around again. He'll be able to dispel it, thanks to the flicker.
Very good usage there. More movement speed on Death Prophet is excellent here. Removes E-Blade. Shad covering his teammates well. Like, all these goes on Kezu have been effective, but him having cheese, he still has another cheese, by the way. Having BKB, having all these utility items, and now he's at this position where he's really difficult to kill. And the single target raw burst damage from OG is just not there so much because Luna is not the most incredible single target hero.
It is starting to feel a little bit desperate towards the side of OG here. Are we still looking at a Rapier here for Luna? I feel like she can't, like she needs to get damage, but at the same time, like it's too risky, right?
Yeah, it's pretty risky. He's waffling behind. Sometimes he queues it up, then he goes back to queuing up Ags. His courier might have another Undying.
There's another double damager outside the Roche pit, by the way.
Okay. Anybody would love to have it, Shad especially.
Yeah, and it looks like he's gonna help himself to it. Soxa, you better run, boy. You don't want to deal with that. And meanwhile, Boom's just hitting your buildings. I'll take the illusion over, try to push them back a bit. E-Blade comes out, but Shad's here, and he's got the double damage. He doesn't have any fear. Imperial Warrior again. Woof. They're just shredding through these buildings. Nature's Prophet is going to be up in about 5 seconds. Does have the buyback as well, but no use for that. So they'll do the damage, take the tower and the racks, and perhaps make a rotation top and help themselves to that as well.
Yeah, really cool thing Mid1's doing here. Whenever the illusion gets taken over by Enchant, I believe what he's doing is he's dropping his illusion escape, and when you do that, the illusion dies, because otherwise you could spawn it and backpack it and it'd be kind of busted. So it's kind of a cool way to counterplay that, but maybe they can get this Enchantress kill. They haven't had a kill in a while.
They should be able to get this. Yeah, down goes Stellar. You're just a little bit too far behind the rest of your team right now. They're going to leave you to die, but we do have a Refresher Orb up and running now over on the Death Prophet, so.
He's got to be really happy with his position considering the early game. He's done a great job staying alive, being out of position and enough that your opponents want to fight you, but not so much that that you end up not being defendable here. Gets popped though. That's just a ninja gear.
It's just a ninja gear. I love that though. I really like the way that they're using that because of the fact that Dragon Knight can just, you know, sit on the outskirts of these fights, find the opening, and then just blink in. And they really just don't have the vision on him. They do manage to pick up a gem on the side of OG, so they're going to try to reduce some of the vision. But in the bottom lane, Shad has found himself another victim here, Seb. Follow up here from Boom plus the Abyssal Blade. That's a dead Seb.
Doing such a good job pressuring him.
This king is truly an undying king. 8-0 and 8 right now.
Yep. Insane movement speed, can teleport anywhere. Does tons of damage here. And the heroes are just falling off on the OG side. They really needed to take a barracks earlier than they did. One they got was a little bit cheesy. They succeeded, but maybe puck itemization you can criticize a little bit, but his goal is to set up these kills and to start the team fights in good ways. And he's got really effective abilities. His Waning Rift's almost perma-silence, 3.5 second uptime out of 4.3 seconds. But
Thompson, Aramis is here too. You've got plenty of stuns, and there's, of course, those boots of travel. They jump forward here. Looks like Thompson just a little bit fast with the fingers, though. He's going to be able to run away as Soxa hides in the tree line and teleports out.
nicely done by Soxa to save him. It wasn't kind of funny there watching Earthshaker have to play his hero the normal way, where he like fissured, he gets thrown, he's like, oh man, I have to blink in to follow up stun. What is this?
Just
it's
like
just
the
so
old
much less
days.
effective. Yes, but not able to kill him. Thompson stays alive, still pressuring the map really effectively here. Ultra low cooldown stuff. He even got the shard for the Waning Rift to push his opponents back a little bit, deal a little bit more damage with Waning Rift.
So we do have the Ags completed for Luna, and she's looking back towards that rapier.
Yeah, I mean, kind of have to, I think.
You don't seem
Again,
sold on it.
Dangerous, but I like that he bought Ags first because it gives him like 2 different ways to play fights. He can either do Chain Stun.
Oh, the lockdown is real on this poor little puck, and down he goes.
Took all their spells. If they fight at the same time, Soxa trying to take this shrine, but yeah, Smoke's gonna break, he's gonna run. So it gives him 2 ways to play his fights. He can follow up Disable with Eclipse and kill somebody without having to fully commit. And it also gives him the ability to do insane physical damage. Kazu.
Oh, these boots too are just doing so much work here. Shad just shows up. He says, you know, Kazu calls him up. He says, I've got a hero over there. Shad says, I will be right there. Rushes over and he's dead. It's so scary.
It is. And cool itemization on Shad as well. Goes for a heart.
Seb?
Has almost no armor. What was that about?
I don't know. I think he might have
Probably just
fat-fingered it.
safety. Might have been safety. I mean, he went cooldown reduction. This is like the one thing that I think I can maybe criticize about his build. I wonder how different the game might have been if he went 8 armor talent instead of 20% cooldown reduction. He probably went cooldown reduction so you get more done on the map, but like some of those mid-game deaths might not have gone as poorly if he did opposite. But hey, we are where we are. Viking pressuring bottom.
Oh, they're waiting for, oh, there it is. There's the rapier picked up now for the Luna. This is kind of make it or break it, I feel. Lots of ghosts dancing around here. Wrath of Nature does get tossed out. They'll just go rip down the tombstone. They do get him hit over here onto Seb. He's gonna keep pushing, but again, you have so many ghosts here. Where's your creeps, though, is the question.
Prophet was bottom, remember? Pop is BK. By the way, Prophet's been top as well. He's got BKB up.
Yep, and they're finally going to just use the Echo Slam. They've had enough of him. Abyssal comes out, and they'll slice Seb, but he does have buyback. It's like Celery again, just maybe a little bit too far behind the rest of the team. Has the Glimmer Cape, will just go and get 4 staff forward, but we'll get the leash off here over onto Kazu. Kazu, though, using the Yules, buys himself a little bit more time. Celery still trying to fight here, not going to be able to, and it's not looking great for Kazu this time around. He also will fall.
Ooh.
Use
Tries
that refresher,
refreshing.
too.
Yeah, tried to BKB refresher into BKB to escape there, but a little bit tough, not able to do it. And kind of a perfect circumstance for Luna against Enchantress too. Just don't attack the Enchantress, you attack the Death Prophet, and then the bounces go and hit her anyway, so it works out. Rapier paying off there.
Yeah.
What else did I see that was interesting? There's something else there.
There's a lot that was happening all at once, for sure.
Yeah.
But Ag's Blessing is now the next gift that Roshan can bestow if you can slay him. So, a lot of eyes
They
on
got
this
2
one.
dead heroes. I mean, at least force some buybacks here.
He's still
Oh yeah, that's right. Prophet killed the whole enemy base. That's right. All the range barracks are gone.
Shad,
Missed
they
on the
spot
clear.
him. Fissure gets tossed out. There's going to be the Luna Ags. Still doesn't feel like it does too much. Oh, the snap, though, pushing forward. The buybacks are coming out now immediately as Boom jumping in. Can he burst down No-Tail? He's trying. Rest of the team on their way. Nice Fissure coming out. Will take down No-Tail. Mid one has the BKB pop. Boom having to run out. This is going to be the first death here coming out from the side of the Wraith King. He's going to come right back up again. He pops the BKB and is just going to have to retreat as they go in with the Exorcism. They do have to take down that Tombstone. It's still spawning.
But
Look at the legion of creatures just coming out over here into the bottom area. They'll protect their king. So they should be able to go and get this Roche. It doesn't feel like OG feels confident enough going back into the pit. But they do have to send people home right now. In fact, Shad's going in. There's a lot of stuff on the ground. Do they pick it up? It's going to be Boom who grabs it. Now KZ forced to go and use the BKB and the Lotus Orb. He's got to be a little careful here, but he should get healed up fairly soon as Shad's just chopping down trees in the base. Another Fissure gets tossed down. Can they find it? There's the Echo Slam. Can they take down Thompson? Looks like they'll be able to take down Celery's Courier, but there's a lot of things going around on the back end as KZ was just trying to flee. Thompson somehow still alive during all this. Aramis, though, he's going to buy back. Look at this damage coming out here against Boom. That's going to be the Aegis as it gets dropped down. Celery looking around. They'll turn their attention now over to the Luna. They need to get enough damage out. They need to be able to man-fight her, and it's not looking like they're going to be able to win this fight. They're taking too much damage. All right, Wraith King's coming right back up again, but the rest of the team is here, and they have the Abyssal. They're just slicing through mid one. Can they do it fast enough, though? Do they have enough damage? He's still alive. He's man-fighting all of them. Look at this beautiful Dream Coil as they go and they throw out the Fissure. Finally, they take down mid one, and they're looking for anything else that they can get. Kaizo goes down, No-Tail next to fall. This is looking a little scary now for Thompson. He's got to be very slippery here. Uses the orb. Is he going to be able to make it out? Are they going to chase after him? It looks like they tried, but not going to be able to go get the final hit off. Boom, waiting patiently. Thompson, he's got those dancing shoes on, boy. He's juking around, but eventually they find him. They stun him up, and down goes Thompson. Buy back, though, here from the puck. And there was a lot of damage that just got placed into their base while all this was going on.
Those melee barracks are at half HP, not low enough. But the amount of space that Thompson just made was actually incredibly insane. With these atypical items, he just sat there and bought so much time for Luna to get things done, but it wasn't enough. A lot of buybacks. Viking shows up and takes the Rapier away. Very scary moment.
Oh, the Fissure coming in hot. Chad is here. He's waiting patiently. He's stunned up. They fall with the Echo Slam, though. They know that if they can take down Thompson. There it is. There's that Eclipse, but they don't care on the side of Viking. Does a decent amount of damage, but mid one, he just can't go forward against this. It's too scary. Another long-range Fissure. Blink coming in from Boom. They're just going after No-Tail. Down goes, Toxa. They'll go right back in. They'll pay attention to these buildings. Buyback now coming out from Rubik. They need to try to force them out of this base, and it's going to be so damn difficult. It's another blink forward here. Here it is, the Ancient. It's crumbling. They BKB. They've had enough on Viking. They say, we just want to get this done. We want this victory. We want game number one. Fortification comes out, though, and they try to jump in over onto the back lines. No-Tail, he's trying to man-fight them. It's not looking like he's going to be able to. Shad jumps forward over here, gets a kill on Soxa. It's mid one against the world, and it's not going to go his way as the GG gets called.